Hi, family. I gotta take a deep breath for this one. Do you know that the Greeks say that your sun sign, whatever your ruling planet is for your sun sign, that you are considered the son or daughter of? So I am the daughter of Pluto because my sun sign is in Scorpio. And that's my modern ruler, but my original ruler, or the traditional or ancient ruler of Scorpio, is Mars. So there was this really interesting transmission that I received from Pluto and Venus and Mars today as I was processing the energy upon my grand rising, upon my sleep state. It was a very interesting dream state. You know, in our dreams, we work out a lot of subconscious stuff, right? Stuff that's going on in the underworld or the unconscious, meaning it's not known. So for those of you that know me, my name is Ella Ivy. I'm the creator of livzenastrology, and I've been putting myself more and more on social media, sharing astrology, sharing my love of astrology, of consciousness, of being in a different reality timeline that we currently find ourselves, using the language of astrology. The channel also comes from the spirit of radical oneness, meaning that there is no separation, that we are all the one. And I've had these awarenesses of oneness through my own journey with meditation, with plant medicines, with deep diving into my own gnosis, with getting off the matrix system that we find ourselves, becoming a digital nomad, kind of been floating around. I call myself, at last night, the word realm walker came in. I've been realm walking, if you will, since I'm not currently anchored in any particular place. But I was called to do my regular routine, drink my lemon water. Actually, I use lime today. So lime water with some Celtic sea salt, did some breath work. There's actually some deep breath work today, which is a little different, deeper than I normally do upon my 20-minute grand rising meditation. And I was called to pull some cards from this really awesome Herbal Astrology Deck. And if you guys have ever heard of it or seen it, I highly recommend it, especially if you're working. We've got Jupiter right now in Taurus, which is the body, so expanding our body consciousness and the awareness that you guys know, and this is actually what the plants told me, that plants come from planets, right? So this particular Herbology Astrology Oracle talks about the herbs and how they're connected to certain planetary energies. So I was called to pull 3 cards today. And this particular deck actually reads reversed energies. So some oracle decks or divination decks will call you to read, when you pull a card and it comes out reversed, that there's actually a meaning in the reversal, right? There's usually an opposition energy happening within that frequency. So the herbs today were speaking to me really loudly in relation to these messages that were coming through, because just to give you a little bit of a insight at the planets of how they're aligned right now and maybe why you're feeling some insights this way too. And guys, comment below, tell me if you can relate to any of these messages, because like I said, this message is not for everybody. I'm finding that my audience is going to be, fellow entrepreneurs, fellow disruptors. I hate labels, but I love the label of disruptor. My friend called me that one. She's like, "You're such a disruptor." And I thought, oh, I like that one. I don't really like teacher or astrologer, even though these are, roles I play. But the label of disruptor really activated me. It's like, yes, disruptor, right? Again, daughter of Pluto, which is the transformer. So coming back to today's Grand Rising meditation, I pulled these cards from this Herbal Astrology deck, and 3 cards that came out really strong, 2 reversals. So the Tulsi card, which is Holy Basil, came out reversed, and it was wealth, right? So this was the card. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And for those of you that want to explore this deck, I highly recommend it. It's so cool. And it came out reversed. So upon reading the reversal, it's like, the message was basically, you're chasing wealth in the wrong way. You're being vain about it. You're chasing materialism. and you're not coming from a space of purity. I thought, well, shit, okay, what's going on? Why am I not coming from a pure space? I thought I'm here to be of love and light and to be of service and to share my light and to share my gifts. Well, with Pluto right now next to Venus, who Venus is in the underworld because Pluto rules the underworld, the energy was showing me like, yes, you want to share your gifts. Yes, you want to be of service. But there may be this subconscious part of you that is still tied into wealth, poverty consciousness, chasing the money. So are you really coming from your heart space? Or are you just saying you're coming from your heart space? Because Pluto, again, daughter of Pluto, is my taskmaster, constantly transforming, constantly calling me to task with, why do you do what you do? So know your why, and know that your why may be embedded into a darker or unconscious realm tied into things that maybe you don't want to see. So what I didn't want to see was that, yes, I'm producing online, and yes, I'm putting myself more out here, but my why has been because I want to generate more money. Yeah, that's the truth. Oh, I'm in a park. There's family walking. Sorry, I just got distracted. Aw, other parts of me. So, because I'm a digital nomad, because I've been, in this survival mode of like, how am I going to survive off the matrix, off the grid, independently as an entrepreneur, still trying to make it. I still have payments, right? I still have to pay this car. I still have to pay the insurance. I still have to do this dance in this realm that we're playing in. But how do you do that from a place of authenticity without chasing the money? So Pluto and Venus were really calling me out today saying, look, you have a lot of gifts to share, but are you doing it from an authentic space? Are you doing it primarily for the money? And, my fragile ego was like, no, I'm doing it from an authentic space. So I'm going to let all that go because I'm here to be real with myself and with you guys. And so, and give myself some grace, right? Give myself some forgiveness because I understand this is the program. This is the program of chasing money that we all are in right now, especially those of us that are putting ourselves out on social media. I'm going in, flying into TikTok land, which is TikTok, lots of time focused on how other people are making money, right? And how they're and you're seeing all these advertisements and people are like, hey, you do this with digital marketing and you put yourself out there this way and you do this and I got all this money coming in. And of course my inner child's like, yeah, I want that. I want that Land Rover. I want that life. I want to be able to do that and have that money. And I got caught in that current, right? of like the wanting and the hive mind of this Aquarian frequency, because Pluto's in Aquarius right now, so we're in a brand new frequency. None of us have been here before in consciousness with Pluto and Aquarius. None of us have seen this energy, so this is new to me too. So getting caught up in this current, right, this frequency of currency, where people are chasing it, and what's happening, I'm finding, is that TikTok, especially if you're playing on that realm, or even any of the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, even. They all talk about how if you want to be seen, if you want your content found, then you got to do it at certain times, right? That you got to upload your content. You got to have at least this many videos at this time. TikTok right now is talking about how they want longer videos. They want their creatives to start spending more time on TikTok, doing at least 10-minute videos, and eventually they're going to go into 30-minute videos because they want to compete with YouTube. And so they want these creators they want to relegate their time. Right? So again, this is such an interesting dance because this is also, it's like they want to be your boss, right? So those of us that are getting off the matrix and want to be independent and want to be entrepreneurs also are going on platforms where they're still regulating your time and how you spend your time to be successful, because that's how they're going to anchor in the algorithms based on how much time you spend on their platform. No, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. Because again, it's going back into that old program, right? It's like those who control your time control your mind. And I know this to be the truth. And if you really want to lift off and be your true, authentic, sovereign self, then you can't even get into that group think as you're moving more into these Aquarian realms of technology and AI and social media and connecting with other groups. You can't worry about what the other groups are doing because we're here to learn North Node in Aries, right? Our own individual sovereign connection, content, time. I want to be able to share my authentic self when I feel connected and it's the time for me, that it's the right time, that source is like, okay, go. Because I know my brain is just a radio receiver. I'm just receiving these messages, and it has to be organic. It has to be like when I feel inspired, when I'm feeling activated, when I'm properly hydrated, when I don't want to have to wait for all these things to produce. But at the same time, I feel like my electrical body is most charged when I have nourished myself, and then I go on to these platforms and share. And if I'm worried about the money, then what I'm doing is I'm trying to control the radio station that's playing through me, and then ego is going to come in and flub it all up. And right now, guys, our technology of telepathy and of understanding energy is coming online really strong. So we can tell when somebody's coming from an authentic space or not. We just feel it energetically. We just know it. And so my guides were putting me on task today, Tulsi, and then Lion's Mane came in inverted too. And Lion's Mane also had, so just to go back to you guys, these cards also have planets. So Tulsi has the planet of Mercury right next to Jupiter. So we know that Jupiter's in Taurus and Mercury's in Aquarius, right? 20 degrees. I just looked it up before I got on here. And then Lion's Mane came in also inverted. Number 18 card, Tulsi was 19. And Lion's Mane came in inverted, which was leadership. And it has also Mercury and Uranus, which we also know Uranus is in Taurus, right? So we've got two planets, the plant medicines from the planets. This is the card right now. I wanted to show you this because I love the artwork. You'll see the lion there, Lion's Mane, right? And leadership. So I know, and this is not ego speaking, this is just what my blueprint is showing me in my birth chart, and these cards are reassuring me, is that I am a leader, and that the more I lead my own life authentically and coming from my own gnosis and space, not getting in again to this group think so much, but really coming from an organic, true connected space to my source self, that's where the success will be. And it may not always be the money, but it will be a successful use of time, of resources, of energies, of being in community in an authentic way. I mean, my guides are showing me, look, you may not be expanding out to like millions of followers, but you're going to go deep. You're going to go deep with the beings that resonate with you, that are vibrating at your vibe connects you to your tribe. And if your vibe is always chasing the money, then you're going to connect to other beings who are chasing the money, and then you're going to get into a whole nother current where you can drown, right? You're not going to thrive, that you're going to be struggling to get air, because that's not the current that's grace and ease, that you're flowing and that you're in this path of least resistance. And yeah, Lisa, love Leo opposite Aquarius, water bearing vessel on the card. Lead with your heart. Yes, lead with your heart. But this is what was coming in. It's so funny because I was catching myself, the subconscious realm was still subconsciously tied into the program of chasing the money, chasing the abundance. Because the wealth card came in and Tulsi was like, look, come from your heart space. The money will be there. And it's that well-worn path, again, for those of us that were in survival mode for a long time, that would have been the well-worn path. But there's this call to task right now, because Venus right next is next to Pluto, and Pluto's going to strip away, is going to dissolve. It's going to transmute and transform anything that is false, right? Because Pluto and Scorpio, they're all about the truth. And they're going to, and there's this, I listened to Kai Pacha, he's on New Paradigm Astrology, and I highly recommend you check him out, especially his latest video, because he just did something really awesome talking about the story of Inanna. And Inanna is Venus going into the underworld and having to go through the 7 gates, which he said were the 7 moons or cycles of the moon, to get to this stripping away process where she actually had to be, she had to be inverted. And she was strung up inverted by her sister, which is funny because 2 of the cards I got were inverted. So, all right, this is just coming in right now too, that these inversion energies are important to really see yourself and see how the ego is manifesting and manifesting your reality timeline based on the vibration that you're emitting. And some of it is hidden because Pluto is the underworld. It's what's hidden, what's not seen. And with Venus coming in, it's showing you, what are you really drawing into? What are you really magnetizing? From what space are you really magnetizing your light? So if it's embedded still into the materialism, the wanting of things is fine. Material stuff is fine, guys. I'm not knocking material items. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that if you're doing things strictly for the materialism, then it's not pure. It's not coming from the pure space of connection source. It's just coming for straightly, well, I want this material thing, so I'm going to create this to get that thing. That's like, the word I'm hearing is a form of addiction almost. And I wrote down, let me look at my book here. Let me get this, because I had to write this stuff down because I was like getting these aha moments. And the words that came in, everything you want is on the other side of wanting. So this is the duality in the timeline and the paradox that we may be in, is that everything that you want to achieve in the physical, romantically, partnership, time, community, a safe space to land, environment, home, all that is going to be on the other side of you not wanting it. I know. It's a weird realm, but it's what feels true to me. And the mind doesn't fully understand it, right? I still don't fully comprehend or grasp it. My heart does. When I speak these words, even as I'm speaking them out loud to you guys right now, my heart is saying, yes, this is truth. This is the truth. And the mind may not understand this truth, and that's okay. Can you still be in this confusion energy? Can you still be in the unknowing, the unknown? Because this is very much Aquarius too, right? We don't know these realms. We don't know these contradictions. We're still understanding new levels of polarity. And this is probably another level of polarity that's showing up about how to create, about how to really bring in what you're truly magnetizing and not what you're chasing. Because when you chase it, it like pushes it away. But when you magnetize it from your heart space, it just comes to you with grace and ease. And I'm still learning to experience that frequency. I don't know if I fully have yet. I don't know if I've even been to that realm yet. I feel like I know now through awareness and through this aha moment with Aquarius, especially with Mercury, because Mercury also came in on the third card that I pulled. Now this one came up straight right, and this was Rosemary. So I wanted to show you this card here, which almost looks like the Virgin Mary. And it says, what number is it? It's the number 3, right? So it's the Trinity, Holy Trinity. And so what this Rosemary card was showing me was, look, when you come from your heart, all things can be received. Everything will come to you with grace and ease if you continue to align with your heart space. All creations moving forward. Check in with your why before you do anything, before you produce anything. And I even hear you too, before you produce a meal, even before you create anything, whether it's content on social media, or you're creating a garden outside, or you're doing something for your partner. Why are you doing it? What's your true why? Just connect. Take those 3 seconds, 3 minutes to just put your hand on your heart and go, okay, I'm about to create this meal for my family. Why am I creating this meal? Just sit with it for a second. This is what's coming in right now. Just sit with your why for a minute. and connect to go, oh, I want to create this meal because I want to nurture myself and I want to bring in the highest vibration to my food and nourish my body, make sure I'm being properly fed with all the things that my body needs. That's a bit of a different frequency than, shit, I got to go create this. Oh, it's dinner time, 6 o'clock, we got to eat. I got to put this stuff together, and just not doing it consciously, not doing it from the heart. So, and that's the same thing with any production moving forward, whether you're producing on social media, whether you're producing a business, check in with your why every day. And that's going to be, as a daughter of Pluto and Mars, and the fact that they're right next to each other, and we've got this exact conjunction with Venus and Mars happening this coming Wednesday. And that's going to be a powerful conjunction, guys, because it's really going to give you action towards what you love. And with Aquarius, it is about groups and group organizations that you're going to be drawn to. But you got to make sure you're in your true vibe. You're in your true vibratory state of authenticity, because if not, you're going to attract in those groups that can probably bring you the lessons of, non-authenticity, maybe a little bit of a mask. You're hanging out with people who wear masks that you think they are one way when they really are another, because you really think you are one way, but you really are another, right? So this is like a call to task from Pluto to strip away the old masks, the old facades, and don't beat yourself up if you find out that you're not being your authentic self. That just means you're still in survival mode, and you probably had to learn that. South Node in Libra is about, well, we probably had to, cow down to certain people in our lives that have power over us so that we could survive, so that we could live. We had to attract those relationships that maybe were not the most authentic, because we needed something from them, right? We needed something in that relationship. But now that frequency is no longer, it's not valid anymore, because our ability to be telepathic and to really tune into each other's frequency is online. We can feel when somebody's not authentic. So if you want to invite in your true tribe, your true heart-centered tribe, then you've got to be your true heart-centered authentic self. And don't beat yourself up if there's subconscious things coming up to be looked at to show where you're not being authentic. That's okay. That's what Pluto's here to do, right? Pluto is here to transform our relationship with the other, and especially with humanitarian, with our humanness, big groups, organizations, how we want to relate to the other. So allow yourself to be stripped away. Allow your ego to be put in check by yourself, by your heart, by your spirit. Allow your mind not to have to know everything, right? Because the mind always wants to figure everything out, especially with Aquarius. It's like, I just have to know. Well, do you have to know? Or with Venus and Mars, do you just have to feel, perhaps, know what brings you joy, Leo, what feels good, the heart of the inner child, North Node in Aries, Chiron in Aries, the wound we didn't know because we had to survive. But this is all being rectified right now. And if you use these plant medicines, which again come from the planets. So right after pulling these cards, guys, I went and put rosemary on my temples. I was like, oh shit, back of the neck. I had lion's mane in my coffee. I'm going to go get some holy basil. I think we've got holy basil herbs in the house. I have to go check. But yeah, like I'm going to imbibe with these medicines because, what's the point of using these cards and these divination tools if you're not going to do anything about it and purposely and keep yourself in check with the real and allow yourself to be really poured into with the truth outside of what the ego wants, but what the heart wants, what the soul is yearning and craving and desiring, which is also, Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto. It's like, what do you desire? I desire truth. I desire a true expression, a more heart-centered reality of this world. So I've got to come from that. I've got to take off the masks, allow my body to alchemize, maybe imbibe with certain plants from the planets that are showing me right now where I'm out of balance, where I'm out of alignment. So moving forward, this is an exclamation. Oh, this is another thing that came in I wanted to share with you guys. At least you're going to love this. So in my meditation, Spirit had me go, okay, I'm going to connect to the energy and frequency of all the social media platforms. So I sat and I did some breath work, because everything is electricity, right? Especially with Aquarius, it's all about the electrical currents. And so with digital media and all this stuff right now, this is all ruled by Aquarius. So I said, okay, let me jump into this frequency in my own vessel. And then I just felt my immune system kind of like protect myself, like a membrane just came around me. And I said, okay, I'm going to jump and play into these media realms. I'm going to jump into TikTok. I'm going to jump into Facebook, Instagram, all these things. And I'm protected. I'm protected from any succubus energies. I'm protected from any parasitic energies that want to live off my life force as my true vibrational self comes in and emerges, that is still very tender and very childlike, right? As I maintain my innocence and my state of curiosity, like the heart of the child, I am divinely protected in this womb space as I navigate these currents of social media and other giant, bigger collective energies. And so that came in really strong to do that. Maybe you guys can do that meditation. I don't know, it's an offering to work with these energies for those that are entrepreneurs that want to put themselves out here more on these platforms and play, but maybe don't feel completely safe because their inner child doesn't feel safe to be their authentic selves. Maybe if you surround yourself, just see yourself like in this womb space as you navigate the currents, that you can just play and that you're protected and you're safe, and it's safe to be you. It's safe to be your authentic self. It's safe to show up from your heart space, that your tender heart is protected no matter what anybody's comments say, no matter what trollers may come on and try to throw you off. If you have that membrane, it's like you're in that womb space, that you're just observing these energies trying to plug into you or trying to suck your energy. It's like they're not able to, because your immune system is so strong, which is immunity, right? Immunity is immunity. I know that I'm the one. I know that I'm connected to this higher grid, this source self that everybody's connected to, and I'm going to show up my authentic self no matter what the consequences, no matter what anybody thinks or says, even if it goes against the hive mind. Because again, Aquarius, the dark side, we have to look at the shadow, because this is Pluto. And Aquarius, we got to be able to look at, okay, what's the shadow of Aquarius? Is this more like a Borg? If you guys ever watched Star Trek, you know, the Borg, it's like we are Borg. It's like this one collective consciousness that everybody's doing the exact same thing, kind of robotic, almost like the Stepford Wives, like we are all the same. You know, that's the dark side of Aquarius too, right? So learning the North Node in Aries, we still have to be ourselves in this collective energy. And yeah, this is a lot of words right now that are coming through, and thank you guys that are still on the show. And thank you, Lisa, for still being here with me on this live and navigating these currents, because I know you're right there with me and you feel exactly what I'm saying. And again, this message is not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. This is the time for us to really put out our truth, speak our authentic selves, and see who our tribe is. See who is left standing in the rubble. Because I pulled from another deck of cards too, right? My David Bowie Starman Tarot deck, which I really love. Really, really love that deck because I love the artwork. And one of the cards I pulled was the Tower. It's like, look, you're going to have a Tower moment where things are going to completely shift. And even some friendships may shift. And some relationships may have to fall away as we are merging into our authentic selves. And you're going to have to be okay with that, guys. You're going to have to be okay with the change, because Pluto is all about change. The Tower moment that came in, what's changing is our consciousness, our vibration. So as we change our vibration, what we attract and what is attracted to us is going to change. So that means that some things that maybe you were attracting when you were still wearing the mask are not fully embodied in your authentic self. Those relationships that were rooted into that also may be untied and unrooted. So that's just something to be aware of as well, guys, and to, allow yourself to mourn those relationships, but also know that they had to change because you're changing. So those of you that knew you as the caterpillar and could only relate to you as a caterpillar now cannot fly with you because you're the butterfly. That makes sense? Because they're still in the caterpillar phase. So that's just something that just came in right now, that metaphor. Thank you, guides. My guides always show me through metaphor. Anyway, think that's enough talking right now. I feel like I need to rehydrate and walk my dog Tanner, who's, hey Tanner, he's like my grounder. He always grounds as I'm like talking this information. He's such a cool soul. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for connecting. And yeah, moving forward, I'm not going to pay attention to what these social media things say about having to time yourself and put yourself out here and do all this whenever they want you to. You go do you when you feel like you want to do you and see what happens. Grow your audience organically. Grow your tribe. Connect to your tribe organically and just see what happens. You know, that's where the abundance is. It's on the other side of wanting. So quit wanting, just do, just be, whatever that means in every now moment. And as you're inspired, to share and do, you do it on your terms. Not what TikTok or Facebook or any of these other social media platforms is saying. That's their timeline. You be on your timeline, do you, and your tribe will find you. They will be connected to you. I love you guys. Thank you, everybody who watches this in the now. Thank you, Lisa, for the real rebel. Yeah, for real. Thank you guys for being with me on this journey. And I'm excited to see who shows up now that I'm just going to do me unapologetically and see what happens, see what emerges. All right, guys, much love to you. Mwah! Love you guys.